Figure shows a cross-section of a double-walled glass vacuum flask containing a hot liquid. The surfaces of the two glass walls of the flask have shiny silvered coating. Explain. Why the rate of loss of thermal energy through the walls of the flask by conduction is very low. So let's see what happens in the vacuum flask. This is the hot liquid inside the flask, and this is the cold air. Of course, if there is a direct contact between the hot liquid and the cold air, the hot liquid will directly lose its thermal energy. But this doesn't happen here because there is vacuum separating them. Between the two containers of the vacuum flask, there is vacuum, which is poor conductor of heat. So there is no direct conduction between the hot liquid and the cold air, so the hot liquid is kept hot as long as possible. We say that the vacuum between the two glass walls is poor conductor of heat. Also, glass itself is a poor conductor of heat, so heat will not transfer from the hot liquid to the cold air. Let's see the mark scheme. Mention of vacuum or glass is a poor conductor, or vacuum or gap between walls has no molecules, atoms or particles. Any one of these is for 1 mark. Question II. Why the rate of loss of thermal energy through the walls of the flask by radiation is very low? Again, this is our system. Each of the two walls of the flask is painted with a silvery color. Hot liquid as a hot body will produce infrared radiation, which is heat radiation. When this radiation meets the silvery colored surface, most of it will be reflected back and only a few can escape. So this minimizes the amount of heat loss by radiation, because most of the radiation will be reflected back into the hot liquid again. The answer will be silvery color is a good reflector, so it reflects most of the heat radiation back into the flask. Also, it's a bad absorber and bad emitter, or you can say radiator, so a very few amount of heat can escape from the flask. Mark scheme gives 2 marks for this. 1 mark for surface or silver of walls is good reflector, bad absorber. This is what we said here. The second mark is for saying that surface or silver of the walls is poor emitter, and this is what we said here, bad absorber and bad emitter.